at this time, and we are making some decisions. We're going to probably invest in rental properties.
Okay, alrighty. And do you have any real estate agents at your office that specializes in income producing properties?
I do a lot of work with income producing properties myself. I wouldn't say there's anyone that does that exclusively,
Okay,
but right now, as I said, this is the market to buy income producing properties.
okay. Now, in terms of sellers that want to sell their property and put it out there on the market, what's the first two contracts that a seller has to sign in order for you to represent them to sell a house?
The seller needs to sign a listing contract, which states the price of the home, the length of time they want to contract with that real estate agent, and the commission rate. And that contract basically includes everything.
Okay, alrighty. Now, I know in terms of real estate investing, a lot of real estate investors, they talk about location, location, location. In terms of purchasing residential or commercial real estate, do you feel as though that real estate investors should know the demographics in that local or geographic area in terms of what's coming in that area and what's going out of that area?
That's very important to know the area well.
Alrighty. Okay. And what made you want to get into the real estate profession and turn it into a lovely career?
Well, I have owned my own business before. I like being my own boss. I like having control over my income, and I feel as though with real estate, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. I have a large sphere of influence. I know a lot of people, come into contact with a lot of people, so it ended up working out very well for me.
Okay. And at this point, in terms of the real estate market, do you feel as though it's a seller's market? Do you feel as though a buyer's market? Or do you feel as though we're in between markets?
It was, I would say, a balanced market up until just recently, and now it's shifting more where the buyers have an advantage. The buyers do have an advantage, and that's basically because there's so much inventory on the market. So for the sellers, I advise my sellers to make sure that their property is very clean, as upgraded as they can afford to make it, and always in perfect showing condition, just so it stands out, because they do have a lot of competition at this time. And for my buyers, I have advised them to take their time and look and make sure that it's the right house for you, because there's a lot to choose from and they can really get a lot for their money right now.
Okay. In terms of sellers selling their property, whether it be their house or their investment property, is it good for them to stage their property?
Absolutely. You want that property to be in top selling condition, because you do have so much competition right now.
Okay. And can you elaborate to our viewers, how do you feel about short sales?
Short sales are going to be more and more common in this market. Right now, people, they're over-mortgaged, and in order to sell their property, short sales are going to start coming into play more often.
Okay. And can you elaborate to our viewers, in terms of real estate investing, will pre-foreclosures, would that be lucrative to a real estate investor if they just wanted to invest in pre-foreclosures?
Every situation is different with a pre-foreclosure. It's something you want to have experience with. Do your research ahead of time. Don't buy something just because it's a pre-foreclosure. Make sure that it is a good deal. That's all I got.
Alrighty. And how do you feel about the foreclosure market from a business standpoint?
There's going to be a lot of opportunity out there right now in the market we're in. But like I said, you need to do your research and make sure that it is a good value.
Alrighty. Now, in terms of new developments for builders, um, do you feel as though that they have a lot of inventory this year in terms of building new homes?
There's a lot of inventory this year across the board, new homes included.
Alrighty. And do you feel as though this year that you'll have a lot of inventory in residential real estate?
Yes, there's a lot of inventory.
Okay. Alrighty. In terms of marketing in real estate, you got to have good marketing campaigns. Can you elaborate to our viewers how much capital that Keller Williams spend in advertising?
Well, at Keller Williams, it's up to the individual agent, and it comes out of the agent's pocket, and I do it according to property. Some properties I advertise in very high-end magazines because I feel they need that. I am a big believer in doing open houses, and I do as many of those myself as I can. And in doing that, you're advertising in the local newspapers because you want people to know that the property is open that Sunday, so you put it in the local newspaper. Of course, we advertise on the internet. I think the figure is something like 80% of all buyers now find their home on the internet. It's probably higher since I heard that number. Signage out front, word of mouth. So there's not really a specific amount of money that I spend, but I can tell you that all my advertising does include the property itself.